everybody won't blow. Yeah, the way they're talking about being rich. Then I know that won't step. Hard work, small, get there. Me, I tell you real talk. How you say you're running when you can't walk? Nothing is bigger than you. You say you know the truth. If you not see it today, tomorrow will come for you. Sometimes the road will be bad. You understand the right. When it comes back to you, you got only you by your side. Only you by your side. Only you by your side. Better when you fall in, if you know that you not wanna be sorry, that you not gonna part to, you might get when you fall in, you know what to do, you shouldn't be struggling, that you not gonna part to, it's life, oh life, you not get no part to. I not get no part to me, oh, you for true. Everybody want stage, everybody wanna be on front page. Everybody aim higher, kissing all the people who are complaining. That brother where you sit there, the sister where you sit there won't stay. Me, I get my story before the hustle show fail. Yeah. Nothing is bigger than you. Yourself, you know the truth. If you not find it today, tomorrow will be for you. Sometimes the road will be bad. You always learn on your right. When it comes back to you, you got only you in this life. Only you in this life. Only you in this life. Better when you fall in, if you know that you not wanna be sorry, that you not gonna part to, you might get when you fall in, you know what to do, you shouldn't be struggling, that you not gonna part to, it's life, oh life, you not get no part to. I not get no part to me, oh, you oh, for true. Maybe if we do this, maybe we could make it to a new place. Maybe we could look far, just maybe we can go far. Even if we cross it, small, we will get there. Even when we go wrong, maybe we can write it and we roll on. Nothing is bigger than you. Yourself, you know the truth. If you not get it today, tomorrow will come for you. Sometimes the road will be bad. You'll understand you're right when it comes back to you. Just get up and hold your light. Hold your light. You must hold your light. You must hold your light. You don't die. When you fall, if you know that you not wanna be sorry, that you not gonna part to, you must get up. You need to shine your light. Don't let anybody bring you down. Don't let anybody tear you down. No. You deserve better. You know you deserve better. You're not getting nobody to you for you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. We woke up this morning heading towards 40 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island. What a morning. rise and shine as we prepare for another day. What can we expect from this day? My topics for today are let it come around, let it come around. As we wake up this morning, my topics are now that we have the Invincible Sports Park in Monrovia, what's next? 2, collaborating political parties, CPP, Unity Party Senator Bearer Joseph Boakai dodges court subpoena. And 3, Buduburam Refugee Camp Liberian community in Ghana. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Let me listen to my intros as we prepare for my topics for today. Good morning. Now that we have the Invincible Sports Park in the city of Monrovia, what's next for Liberia and the people of the West African Republic of Liberia? What's next? We spent $2 million on this sports park. He invited people from all over to come and see the park. He invited his buddies to come and play with him on the soccer pitch. Was this for our children? Or was this to expose his soccer talent before his people? What was the purpose of this Invincible Sports Park? Now that we have it, what's next? What's next? We are facing severe times in the world. Gas shortages, food shortages, all these things will impact us soon. We're not feeling it yet, but it's coming. Are we prepared for it? Are we prepared? Do we have the necessary steps taken and things put in place for the difficult times that are foreseeable? They are foreseeable. Right now, we have gas shortages in the world. There's a major war in the world. The pandemic, coronavirus, is still prevalent in places like China and other nations where we buy rice from, where many people depend on for food and household utensils and goods. All of these things, utensils, all of these things, there's going to be mass shortages in the world. It's coming. It's coming soon. I told you all in my presentation the other day that 40 or more cities in China have been locked down because of the pandemic. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Variants of this pandemic are spreading. We haven't been able to control it yet. The more we think we're controlling it, the more we hear of outbreaks in other areas. People like quarantining again, go into lockdown. And every time these things occur, poor nations that are dependent on other nations suffer. So it's coming to us. There's no way that we can say we're avoided. We're not producers of our own food. We are very dependent on rice and other food products from foreign countries that are now in crisis, that are now suffering from the pandemic. If you listen to other podcasters, they will tell you how severe the situation is too. How even on the world stage they are warning nations to beware. Take heed, govern yourselves accordingly. The situation isn't getting better. The more the war increases, the more they put sanctions on Russia. The world will experience hardship because Russia is a participant in the world economy. We depend on Russia for various things. And as these sanctions go about, as this war continues, hardship will be prevalent throughout the world because the goods that we depend on from these countries in the areas that this war is going on, China, Pakistan, Kosovo, and Ukraine, Russia, all these countries are engulfed in this war situation, or prone to being engulfed in it. The refugee situation, all these things are impacting all those areas there. And once they begin to impact those areas, they will filter down to the poorer nations. It just takes time. We're not feeling it right now, but we'll soon begin to feel it. Is Liberia prepared? Now that we have the sports park, the Invincible Sports Park, what's next? What is this president going to do next? How are the lives of the Liberian people going to change because of this park? Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. The situation in the world is not getting any better. We must be serious about the lives of our people. We must be serious about the situation in the Republic of Liberia. We cannot continue on this trend. Things must change. We hear also that there are other mess going on in our country. Look at what happened with Henry Costa and Jefferson Koji. Why is if you read the Providence front page Africa report this morning about Costa's lies on Jefferson Koji, how this thing has been persistent now for years. Then you come to find out that under all of this is the fact that Koji is somehow interrelated with Costa's ex-wife. Whether they've been together, whether they've been seen together, there's some relationship there. So we don't know whether this is because of that now, but if you read the Providence, gosh, I keep saying Providence, sorry, excuse me. If you read the front page Africa newspaper from Liberia, you will see that throughout that newspaper, there are instances where Costa lied on Jefferson Koji. There are instances where he made false statements accusing this man of murder, accusing him of evil deeds that have not been proven to this very day. Why would Costa be involved in such a thing? Why would Costa put his credibility and his professionalism on the line, behind trying to hide Jefferson Koji and lie on him? Why? I mean, if you read the newspaper, the lies started from what year it started from? It started from 2018, or even before then, with the District 13 rights riot, when he said Koji shot and killed 3 or more people, and there has been nothing put forth by Costa to prove this thing. They say Costa said he burned and buried the body or something secretly, and nobody can attest to this as being factual to this very day. From 2018 to this day, nobody can attest to it. And not only this, he talked about how they attacked Jefferson Koji's Toyota 4Runner and busted it up during that same incident. And people say today that's the same 4Runner that Koji was using, that Koji wasn't even in that incident. He was somewhere else. Then he talked about how he bought property in Cinco for $250,000. Then he went to how he killed a man in Caldwell behind a land deed. I mean, the thing is so much. I had to stop because I couldn't take note of all these things. It was just asinine to think that Henry Costa would actually be perpetrating all these lies. A man who we depend on to give us news and information. You know, it's disheartening. It's disheartening. You know, we know everybody got their personal issues, but when you take your personal issues to this extent, where we find out that behind it all, maybe woman business or jealousy or personal hatred, this is not right, man. You see, this is the thing that destroy our country time and time again. These are our professionals, the people that we depend on to give us professional guidance and leadership are the very same people that interject their own personal feelings and idiosyncrasies and problems into what they're telling us to mislead us and deceive us. But this has been going on in Liberia from time immemorial, and this is why we are where we are today, because of this deceitfulness, because of the lies. This is what brought us to where we are. We can't go on like this. People got to be punished for doing these kind of things. Costa himself needs to be punished if he has done this thing. It can't go unpunished. You mean you come and tell us all these things about this man and their lies? You know, I don't have anything against George Weah. Personally, I don't. Except for the fact that they're not competent for the position that they're leading. And their behaviors and immaturity and levels of immaturity impact the development and progress and advancement of our country. And they also lead to the deaths of our people. It's unacceptable. That's my only problem. I have nothing personal against these guys. I have nothing personal against people in Liberia. I speak my mind. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. People may not like me for that, but I will not come out against Koji because of something personal. I didn't do it to Do. Do killed my father. I still serve in Do government. Huh? Politics and personal bullshit, they are two different things. They are two different things. They may relate when you hate people for nothing and their families won't retaliate. But on the overall scheme, if it's politics, it's politics. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And this politics with lies and deceitfulness has been in Liberia from time immemorial, and it cannot continue. You know, at Costa, man, I'm surprised that Costa is involved in this kind of thing. You know, of all the names Henry Costa would be lying on Jefferson Koji. And just for the mere fact that Koji was involved with Costa's ex-wife, it's enough evidence that this man has some animosity or jealousy or hatred against Jefferson Koji. And it impugns, it clouds of all the things he's been telling us, man. It's just painful. It's painful. It's hateful too. You know, when our leaders are the very people, the people we depend on to give us good and valuable information and leadership and guidance are the people that deceive us and mislead us and misguide us time and time again. And a young man like Henry Costa is unacceptable. 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 So who can we trust in our country now? Our leaders are so few and far between. We don't have leaders to trust, man. Everybody we put our faith in, we come to find out they're either liars or deceivers or killers or ritualistic people. You know, something wrong, man. What's wrong with people? What's wrong, man? People use the media to lie on other people. When we're looking for truth and direction and sensitivity to make of our lives, we got to continue to be dealing with deceitfulness and lies from our leaders and people who we trust all the time. Why, man? Why? It's not right. It's not right, man. It's not right. This is blatant and hurtful, man. Why would you interject yourself to lie on Jefferson Koji like that? You know, we know Jefferson Koji got his ways. He's not perfect. But Casa lying on him doesn't exonerate him from the things he had done in our country. And Jefferson Koji got some skeletons and wickedness in him too that we got to investigate and punish him for. But don't lie on him. Don't interject your personal feelings and idiosyncrasies and jealousy and all these things into making us turn against Koji. That's not right. That's not right. And Henry Costa, you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself because this is unprofessionalism. How can we trust you now? I mean, you're so confusing, man. Henry Costa, the whole Henry Costa business is just messed up and mesmerizing. He is just like the old politician. Maybe they need to take them out of Liberian politics so life can be better for Liberian people. But you decide. You got to decide this. But the deceitfulness, the lies, the treachery, the evil in my country is just too damn much. It must cease and desist. That's my topic on this issue. CPP, Collaborating Political Parties of Liberia, saga continues. So Joseph Boakai avoided receiving the court subpoena the other day. From the news report, he told his security not to let the court officer enter his compound to deliver the subpoena. So, what is this all about? They want to get rid of Elliot Cummings, but everybody do want to be on the ship. The Solicitor General subpoena Boakai to come testify. Everybody wondering how will Boakai come to testify against Elliot Cummings? How will Boakai, in his right mind, come to testify against Elliot Cummings? Boakai said he never received the subpoena. So now we learn from Providence. Oh man, God, please forgive me. Front page Africa. I keep saying Providence. I live in Providence, Rhode Island. This is my home. Forgive me. I interact with the Providence Journal a lot. That's our newspaper here. So every time I think about newspaper, I think about newspaper here. So Front page Africa is Liberia's newspaper. And they are saying that Boakai dodged the court officer. He told the security officers not to let the man enter the compound to present him the subpoena Justice Ticum. Now, Justice Ticum does not to testify, not to produce documents. So they weren't asking, the subpoena wasn't for Boakai to testify, because subpoena to testify is subpoena ad testificandum. And the newspaper did not say that. Front page Africa said that it was a subpoena justice ticum, which means a subpoena for you to produce documents. So what the Solicitor General wanted from Boakai was for him to produce documents from the CPP to collaborate whatever documents the Justice Ministry already has, so or have. So it wasn't for him to come and testify in person. It was just for him to come and produce these documents that the court wanted. Okay, so let's get it right. People saying, "Oh, Boakai they wanted to testify." No, according to the newspaper, Front page Africa, the subpoena was not for Boakai to testify in person. It was for Boakai to produce documents. It was a subpoena justice ticum, produce documents. It was not a subpoena ad testificandum. Okay, so that's the difference. Justice ticum is for documents. So they wanted only documents from Boakai. So Boakai did not want to produce these documents, so he told his security officer not to let the court bailiff into his compound. Now, how the court bailiff is going to report this back to the court, and what actions the court going to take, we need to see it. In the meantime, we know that Boakai can't testify today because he didn't get served. But for him to have his security officers block the court officers from going to the house to produce the document, to present the document to him, what will the court say about that? Because he's taking steps to stop the subpoena from being served on him. Because if the court officers cannot enter his compound to serve the document, how is he going to be served? So we want to hear about this. Or will we hear about this? Because this is a former VP. Let's see if Serena Cephas is man enough to request some action from the court against the former VP. So this is where we stand. The case will go on today. This is the case where Elliot Cummings being charged with forgery. This is not the case before the NEC. This is not the case before the National Election Commission. There are two cases ongoing right now. One case is before the Election Commission, which is brought by Elliot Cummings and Musa Ability to stop Unity Party and All Liberian People's Party, Benana Euro Party, from fielding candidates in this Lofa senatorial election and the 2023 election because they did not comply with the agreement, which is the framework document of the collaborating political parties. Now, the second case is brought by Benana Euro, the All Liberian Party Stanabara, against Elliot Cummings with the Liberian government for forgery. They're saying that the documents that Elliot Cummings filed with the Election Commission did not bear Benana Euro's signature, but the signature of someone else. Whose signature did it have? They don't know. So they are charging Elliot Cummings with forgery because for that document to be filed, somebody had to sign it. Okay? So here we are with the two cases. So they subpoenaed Boakai to bring documents for the Elliot Cummings forgery case to see whether the evidence in the court concurs with the documents that Boakai has in his possession. So they wanted that document. That was a subpoena juices Tico, and he didn't show up. So these are the two cases right now, and we'll see how the court will decide on Elliot Cummings' case today with the forgery if Boakai doesn't testify. But we're also waiting for the case with the Election Commission, which is supposed to be today too, ongoing. So we look forward to hearing from that. And we hope that the peace in the land stands. Okay? So this is where we are with these two cases. And we'll see what the court will decide today about Boakai not being able to testify. Because the Solicitor General announced that he was going to subpoena Joseph Boakai, the former vice president, to come and testify. But instead of giving him a subpoena to testify, he gave him a subpoena to produce documents. Okay, so this is where we are with this case. I rest my case on this matter for now, and we'll move on to my final topic for this morning's lesson. My Buduburam Refugee Camp Liberian community, their school starts tomorrow. We woke up this morning. There's a holiday in Ghana. You know that this is Easter. So in Ghana, they celebrated the whole weekend, including Monday. So today the school was supposed to open, but unfortunately we did not anticipate the Easter holiday being with the same time with our scheduling. So it's going to open tomorrow. My staff is standing by. They are all excited and hyped up. They can't wait to start the school because for them, this is life changing. This is something that they're going to do on their own, move their own selves to the next level. So, again, we want to thank our sponsors, all those who have helped us, because I couldn't do it alone. And with the financial help we got, we have taken steps to help to change the lives of those who deserve better lives. In the cause of the people, the struggle continues. We wait for the videos For tomorrow starting, I will show the video here, whatever video they send me. It will be on the show tomorrow. And we'll see the opening of the Friends of Rodney Chesson Community Self-Help Vocational Baking School on the Buduburam Refugee Camp in Ghana. Thank you, my sponsors. Thank you all, the young people and the elders on the Buduburam camp who gravitated towards this idea of self-help, knowing that it's in their best interest and working together, thinking as one, being as one. There are many things we can achieve together. Aluta. Continua. My class is done. Good morning and have a good day. I'm out of here. I am out of here. I am